Welcome back to ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel. Today we will learn about the explosive developments hitting Port Charles this Tuesday, September 23rd, as power plays, mysterious doppelgangers, and unexpected romantic revelations shake the very foundation of our beloved characters' lives. The Quartermaine dynasty flexes its influence. Brooklyn Quartermaine Chase finds herself in a position of unprecedented authority as she contemplates wielding her family's legendary influence to reshape the rules governing the Quartermaine stables. The discovery of the adorable beagle Outback has sparked a fascinating power struggle that reaches deep into the family's storied history. Brooklyn's declaration that if a Q made the rule not to allow pets in the stable, a Q can change it represents more than just a simple policy adjustment. It's a bold assertion of her rightful place within the Quartermaine hierarchy. The implications of this decision extend far beyond the immediate question of pet ownership. This move could potentially pit Brooklyn against the formidable Tracy Quartermaine, whose iron-fisted control over family affairs has been legendary for decades. Alternatively, she might be challenging regulations that date back to the era of Foster and Annabelle, a reference that longtime General Hospital fans will remember as the scandalous incident involving Lucky Spencer's childhood companion and Leela Quartermaine's prized purebred. The romantic subplot involving these two dogs created one of the most endearing storylines in the show's history, and Brooklyn's current situation mirrors that same blend of family tradition and heartwarming animal companionship. Molly's surprising romantic awakening, in what promises to be one of the most unexpected romantic developments of the season. Molly Lansing Davis finds herself grappling with feelings that challenge every assumption about social compatibility and class distinctions. Her confession to mother Alexis Davis about her growing attraction to Cody Bell represents a seismic shift in her carefully constructed worldview. The assistant district attorney's admission carries particular weight, given her traditionally pragmatic approach to relationships and her focus on professional advancement. The contrast between Molly's legal background and Cody's humble position as a stable hand initially appears to create an insurmountable social divide. Yet deeper examination reveals fascinating parallels in their family connections. Cody's uncle serving as senior DA and his father's law enforcement career suggest that their relationship might not be as mismatched as initially perceived. Molly's recognition of Cody's transformation from his previous life as a con artist and grifter demonstrates her ability to see beyond surface appearances and appreciate genuine character growth. The pivotal moment that captured Molly's attention, Cody's decision to direct Joe Palmieri toward donating the reward money for Outback's return to an animal rescue, reveals the depth of his personal evolution. This selfless act represents everything Molly values in a potential partner: integrity, compassion, and a commitment to causes greater than personal gain. Emergency room chaos and doppelganger mysteries. The General Hospital Emergency Department becomes the epicenter of supernatural intrigue, as an accident victim bearing an uncanny resemblance to the late Nathan West arrives under traumatic circumstances. The simultaneous presence of Elizabeth Baldwin, Lucas Jones, Dante Falconeri, and Anna Devane creates a perfect storm of emotional turmoil and investigative expertise. Each character brings their unique perspective to this mystifying situation, with Anna's extensive experience in international espionage lending particular credibility to the group's collective shock. Anna Devane's immediate recognition of the potential dangers surrounding this doppelganger situation draws upon her decades of experience with Casadini resurrections, elaborate disguises, and identity manipulation schemes. Her memories of Liesel Obrecht and Caesar Fazen's impersonation plot 15 years ago serve as a stark reminder of how thoroughly such deceptions can infiltrate and destroy lives. The strategic decision to maintain complete secrecy until they can determine the true nature of this Nathan West lookalike demonstrates Anna's hard-earned wisdom and protective instincts. The timing of this mysterious rival raises compelling questions about potential connections to ongoing Port Charles conspiracies. Could this be an elaborate Casadini manipulation, a WSB operation gone wrong, or perhaps something even more sinister? The emergency room setting adds urgency to these questions, as medical procedures and patient care requirements could potentially compromise any investigation into the stranger's true identity. Britt's precarious position and Lulu's diplomatic mission. Britt Westburn's temporary residence above Bobby's represents more than just a housing arrangement. It symbolizes her tenuous position within Port Charles society and her ongoing struggle to establish legitimate professional credibility. her recent hiring as emergency room intake supervisor by Portia Robinson, and Terry Randolph offers hope for genuine redemption. Yet her suspicious demeanor when answering Lulu's unexpected visit suggests that old habits and defensive mechanisms remain deeply ingrained. Lulu Spencer's peacemaking mission carries extraordinary emotional weight as she grapples with the complex dynamics of modern family structures. Her recognition that Rocco Falconeri cannot be separated from his bond with Britt represents mature parenting wisdom that prioritizes her son's emotional well-being over personal grievances. The parallel relationship between Rocco and Liesel Obrecht as a grandmotherly figure adds additional layers of complexity to this already delicate situation. The persistent issue of Britt's habit of calling Rocco Ben represents more than just linguistic confusion. It reflects the deep psychological scars left by their forced separation and the artificial nature of their original bond. Lulu's diplomatic approach to this sensitive topic demonstrates remarkable growth in her character development and her commitment to creating healthy family dynamics despite extraordinary circumstances. The Quartermaine legacy under threat. The devastating news of Monica Quartermaine's death sends shockwaves through Port Charles's most influential family, with Sonny Corinthos experiencing profound grief in his role as Michael's adoptive father. This loss represents the end of an era for the Quartermaine dynasty and raises critical questions about the family's future leadership and direction. Monica's decades of service as chief of staff at General Hospital and her unwavering dedication to family unity have made her an irreplaceable pillar of strength. Carly Spencer's enigmatic response to Sonny's attempt at consolation reveals complex undercurrents of unresolved conflict and personal history. Her cryptic comment about not liking each other, whether referring to Monica in present tense or perhaps alluding to Tracy Quartermaine, suggests that old wounds and family tensions continue to simmer beneath the surface. The historical context of Carly's relationship with A.J. Quartermaine and her role in Michael's paternity adds depth to these complicated family dynamics. The ripple effects of Monica's passing will undoubtedly reshape power structures within both the Quartermaine family and General Hospital's administrative hierarchy. Tracy's inevitable return to prominence, combined with the younger generation's emerging influence, promises to create fascinating conflicts and alliances in upcoming storylines. Next, we will learn about the issue that has every Port Charles fan's heart racing: the absolutely explosive return of Ryan Pavey to the hallowed halls of General Hospital, bringing back the beloved yet mysteriously departed Detective Nathan West, in what promises to be the most earth-shattering comeback storyline in recent memory. The triumphant return of a fan favorite. The entertainment world collectively gasped when news broke that Ryan Pavey would be making his highly anticipated return to ABC's General Hospital on September 19th, officially ending a 7-year absence that left countless fans wondering if they would ever again see the darkly charismatic Detective Nathan West grace their television screens. Pavey, whose portrayal of the complex law enforcement officer from 2013 to 2018 captured hearts and created and devoted international fanbase, is stepping back into Port Charles with a renewed sense of purpose and an arsenal of dramatic surprises that promise to revolutionize the show's landscape. The actor's extended hiatus from the soap opera world has transformed him in ways that will undoubtedly enhance his return performance. During exclusive behind-the-scenes interviews, Pavey revealed that his years away from the intense pressure and demanding schedule of daily television production have gifted him with an unprecedented level of emotional maturity and professional clarity. This newfound sense of centeredness, he explains, will allow him to approach Nathan West's character with fresh perspectives and deeper psychological complexity than ever before imagined. The circumstances surrounding his departure in 2018 left viewers devastated and storylines incomplete, creating a void in Port Charles that no other character has been able to adequately fill. Nathan's presumed death during the dramatic hostage crisis involving his psychotic brother Peter August created one of the most emotionally charged storylines in General Hospital history, leaving his wife Maxie Jones heartbroken and fans demanding justice for their beloved detective. Frank Valentini's masterful strategic vision. Executive producer Frank Valentini's approach to securing Pavey's return demonstrates the sophisticated storytelling strategy that has kept General Hospital at the forefront of daytime drama for decades. The cryptic text message that initiated conversations about Nathan's return was carefully crafted to pique the actor's curiosity while maintaining the secretive nature of upcoming plot developments. Valentini's reputation for orchestrating jaw-dropping character resurrections and unexpected storyline twists made his mysterious overture impossible for Pavey to ignore. The producer's vision extends far beyond simply bringing back a popular character. For nostalgia's sake, industry insiders suggest that Valentini has been meticulously planning Nathan's return for over 2 years, carefully weaving narrative threads and character developments that will make the detective's reappearance feel both shocking and inevitable. The executive producer's track record of successfully reintegrating departed characters while maintaining story continuity has created enormous anticipation among both cast members and loyal viewers. Valentini's strategic timing for the announcement and return coincides perfectly with several ongoing storylines that have been building toward major revelations. The producer's ability to keep plot details under wraps while generating maximum publicity buzz demonstrates his mastery of modern soap opera marketing and storytelling techniques. The promise of revolutionary storytelling. Pavey's emphatic declaration that this return will be anything but vanilla has sent shockwaves through the General Hospital fan community and entertainment media outlets worldwide. The actor's passionate commitment to avoiding predictable storylines suggests that viewers should prepare themselves for narrative twists that challenge their expectations and potentially rewrite established Port Charles history. His promise to stir the pot indicates that Nathan's return will create ripple effects throughout multiple character relationships and ongoing plot developments. The mysterious circumstances surrounding Nathan's survival create endless possibilities for creative storytelling that could involve everything from witness protection programs to advanced medical procedures that were previously thought impossible. Speculation among fans has reached fever pitch as they attempt to decode clues from recent episodes and social media posts that might hint at the detective's miraculous preservation and eventual return to active duty. The actor's confidence that audiences will find this storyline to be a blast suggests a perfect balance of dramatic intensity and entertaining plot developments that will satisfy both longtime devotees and newer viewers who may be encountering Nathan West's character for the first time. His enthusiasm for the project radiates through every interview and public appearance, creating infectious excitement that has already begun influencing the show's ratings and social media engagement. Character evolution and psychological depth. The 7-year gap between Nathan's departure and return provides an unprecedented opportunity for character development that most soap opera storylines cannot achieve. Pavey's personal growth during his absence from daytime television has equipped him with life experiences and emotional insights that will undoubtedly enrich his portrayal of the detective's psychological journey. The actor's newfound sense of calm and centeredness promises to bring additional layers of complexity to Nathan's personality and decision-making processes. Industry experts predict that Nathan's return will showcase a more mature and strategically minded version of the character, one who has learned from past mistakes and developed more sophisticated approaches to both professional challenges and personal relationships. This evolution could create fascinating dynamics with characters who have continued their own development during his absence, particularly his wife Maxie and his former colleagues in the Port Charles Police Department. The potential for exploring post-traumatic stress, survivor's guilt, and the psychological impact of presumed death creates rich storytelling opportunities that could address serious social issues while maintaining the entertainment value that General Hospital fans expect and deserve. Industry impact and cultural significance. Ryan Pavey's return represents more than just another character comeback. It symbolizes the enduring power of soap opera storytelling to create emotional connections that transcend typical television programming. The overwhelmingly positive fan response to the announcement has demonstrated the continued relevance and cultural impact of daytime drama in an era dominated by streaming services and reality television programming. The strategic nature of this return, timed to coincide with General Hospital's continued ratings success and critical acclaim, positions the show for sustained growth and renewed cultural relevance. Industry analysts predict that Nathan's storyline could attract new viewers, while re-engaging former fans who may have stopped watching during his absence. The international attention surrounding Pavey's return has highlighted General Hospital's global reach and influence, with fan communities across multiple continents expressing excitement and anticipation for the upcoming storyline developments that promise to reshape Port Charles forever. Next, we will learn about the issue that threatens to tear Port Charles apart at its very foundation: The explosive escalation between crime boss Sonny Corinthos and congressional powerhouse Drew Cain that has reached such dangerous heights that blood may soon spill on the waterfront docks. Sonny's masterful manipulation unfolds. The calculated brilliance of Sonny Corinthos' latest strategic maneuver reveals the sophisticated criminal mind that has kept him atop Port Charles's underworld hierarchy for decades. His decision to enlist the technological expertise of his trusted associate Britt demonstrates not only his adaptability to modern warfare tactics, but also his willingness to leverage every available resource in this intensifying conflict with Drew Cain. The meticulously planned insertion of a fabricated $1 million wire transfer receipt into Drew's supposedly impenetrable safe represents a level of criminal sophistication that even the most seasoned law enforcement officials would find impressive. This audacious scheme serves multiple strategic purposes beyond merely deflecting suspicion from Sonny's potential involvement in Judge Eva Heron's shocking murder. By implicating Drew in the alleged judicial bribery surrounding Michael Corinthos' contentious custody battle against Willow Tate, Sonny effectively transforms his rival from a congressional hero into a corrupt politician who manipulates the justice system for personal gain. The manufactured evidence creates a narrative so compelling that even skeptical investigators might find themselves convinced of Drew's guilt. The timing of this operation coincides perfectly with mounting pressure from ADA Justine Turner's aggressive investigation, which has been systematically closing potential escape routes for all parties involved in the judge's mysterious demise. Sonny's ability to redirect this investigative focus toward Drew, while simultaneously implicating the shadowy figure of Jen Sidwell, showcases his understanding of law enforcement psychology and his talent for manipulating criminal justice procedures to his advantage. Drew's vulnerable position exposed. Drew Cain's current predicament illustrates how quickly fortune can reverse in the treacherous landscape of Port Charles politics and criminal enterprise. Despite his impressive congressional credentials and the substantial influence that comes with his Quartermaine family connections, Drew finds himself increasingly isolated as Sonny's machinations begin to bear fruit. His attorney Marty Gray's desperate attempts to prevent law enforcement access to the compromised safe demonstrate the severity of the situation. Yet legal maneuvering may prove insufficient against the weight of manufactured evidence. The sophisticated nature of Sonny's frame-up operation exploits Drew's legitimate political activities and business dealings, weaving fictional criminal elements into an otherwise authentic background of congressional service and corporate leadership. This approach makes the fabricated evidence particularly dangerous because it builds upon Drew's actual relationships and documented financial transactions, creating a web of circumstantial proof that could convince even experienced prosecutors of his culpability in judicial corruption. Drew's vulnerability extends beyond immediate legal jeopardy to encompass potential destruction of his carefully cultivated public image and political career. The allegations of bribing Judge Heron strike at the heart of his reputation as an ethical public servant, threatening not only his congressional seat, but also his future political aspiration and his standing within the Quartermaine business empire. The Sidwell connection deepens. The mysterious figure of Jen Sidwell represents perhaps the most intriguing element in this complex web of Port Charles intrigue, serving as both a genuine threat and a convenient scapegoat for Sonny's elaborate deception. Industry insiders suggest that Sidwell's involvement in Judge Heron's murder may be far more extensive than initially suspected, with potential connections to international criminal organizations that operate beyond the traditional boundaries of Port Charles's criminal underworld. Sonny's decision to implicate Sidwell alongside Drew creates a fascinating dynamic that could potentially eliminate two significant threats to his criminal empire through a single, well-executed operation. The international scope of Sidwell's alleged criminal activities provides additional credibility to the narrative of judicial corruption, as federal authorities are more likely to believe that a sophisticated international criminal would possess both the resources and motivation to bribe local judges for strategic advantage. This aspect of Sonny's plan also demonstrates his intelligence-gathering capabilities and his understanding of broader criminal networks that extend far beyond Port Charles's waterfront operations. By positioning himself as an unwitting victim of Sidwell's manipulation, while simultaneously framing Drew as a willing collaborator, Sonny creates a compelling story that appeals to law enforcement's preference for clear narratives with identifiable villains. Jason's impossible dilemma. The potential involvement of Jason Morgan in this escalating conflict represents the most emotionally devastating aspect of the entire situation, as his legendary loyalty to Sonny Corinthos collides with his complicated relationship with his twin brother Drew Cain. Jason's internal struggle between familial obligation and criminal loyalty creates a psychological tension that could ultimately result in the most tragic outcome imaginable: the murder of his own twin brother to preserve the Corinthos criminal empire. Longtime General Hospital fans understand that Jason's relationship with Drew has never been simple, complicated by years of separation, identity confusion, and competing loyalties that have shaped both men's adult lives. The current crisis forces Jason to confront fundamental questions about family, loyalty, and moral responsibility that have defined his character development throughout his television tenure. Should Drew discover Sonny's elaborate frame-up operation and launch a retaliatory strike against the Corinthos organization, Jason would face an impossible choice between protecting the criminal family that has defined his adult identity and preserving his biological relationship with Drew. This psychological pressure could push Jason toward desperate measures that would haunt him for the remainder of his life while fundamentally altering the power dynamics within Port Charles's criminal underworld. Drew's potential counterattack strategy. Drew Cain's extensive political connections and substantial financial resources provide him with numerous options for striking back against Sonny's elaborate conspiracy. Should he uncover the truth behind the planted evidence, his congressional position grants him access to federal investigative resources that could expose decades of Corinthos criminal activities, while his Quartermaine heritage provides the financial backing necessary to wage an extended war against Sonny's organization. The involvement of attorney Ezra Boyle adds another layer of legal sophistication to Drew's potential response, as Boyle's reputation for aggressive defense strategies and his willingness to pursue unconventional legal tactics could prove invaluable in exposing Sonny's frame-up operation. Drew's political acumen, combined with Boyle's legal expertise, creates a formidable combination that could potentially turn the tables on Sonny's criminal enterprise. Drew's access to congressional investigative committees and federal law enforcement agencies could enable him to launch a comprehensive attack on Sonny's waterfront operations, potentially exposing criminal activities that have remained hidden for years. This type of systematic legal assault could prove far more dangerous to Sonny's long-term survival than any traditional criminal rivalry or territorial dispute. Catastrophic consequences for Port Charles. The potential aftermath of this escalating conflict threatens to reshape Port Charles's social and criminal landscape in ways that could reverberate for years to come. Should Jason ultimately choose to eliminate Drew in defense of the Corinthos organization, the emotional and political fallout would devastate numerous relationships and destabilize existing power structures throughout the community. Carly Spencer's loss of Drew as a trusted confidant and political ally would eliminate one of her most reliable sources of support outside the Corinthos organization, potentially forcing her to rely more heavily on Sonny's criminal network for protection and influence. Michael's discovery that his adoptive father orchestrated his biological father's murder would create psychological trauma that could permanently damage his relationship with both Sonny and Jason. Willow's custody situation would become significantly more complicated without Drew's political influence and financial backing, potentially exposing her to renewed legal challenges from Michael or other interested parties. The broader Port Charles community would struggle to comprehend how their congressional representative became embroiled in such a deadly criminal conspiracy, potentially damaging public trust in both local and federal political institutions. This explosive situation promises to deliver the type of